to have and to hold, in sickness and in health, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, to cherish and to love, till death do us part. These are the vows shared between couples during their wedding day. But have you ever asked yourself how these words help a couple stay together? This show is an embodiment of what it means to stay together through thick and thin, through the ups and downs. Today, we get to meet a very lovely couple who've been married for, let them tell us. Meet our lovely couple of the day, the Matogos, who have been married for 10 years and are blessed with 2 wonderful kids. The husband, Joe Matogo, is a 40-year-old born and raised in Nairobi. He is an author and has purpose to serve in the marriage ministry. His dear wife, Nyamo Matogo, is a 38-year-old born and raised in Kanunga, Kiambu. She is the campus pastor for Mavuno Church, Ruaka. And they are here to share on their journey of love in marriage and where best to begin than when they first met.
All right, so we met at a friend's house. So we used to serve together in church. We served in the discipleship program, which is called Mizizi. So we were both facilitators. And so one of the things that we used to do is we used to have hangouts, like just informal hangouts at people's houses to get to encourage one another in ministry. And so I went for one of those, and then I was seated inside the house, and then he came in late. That was a sign, babe. He came in late. And he just came and sat next to me, and then we just started, we hit it off.
What if I didn't come late? I wouldn't have come to sit next to you.
I know, the works of the Lord.
God's timing, God's timing.
All right, so anyway, so he came in late, and then he sat next to me. I think that was the only space that was left. Yeah. And so, we just started chapping stories. So guys actually thought we knew one another from before.
Yeah. So I just noticed, okay. This is some fine girl. The chemistry kept on building up. Yeah. And one thing led to another, and I think it was actually, we were having a dinner. Yeah. We had gone out for a dinner at Fogo Gaucho. Yeah. And then we were with my friends, so I sneaked her out. And then we went driving, and then where was this?
Westgate. We
ended up at Westgate. And then so I asked her out. I asked her if she could be my girlfriend.
What did they do?
And she burst out laughing. She was like,
burst out laughing. I was like, what? I was like, you're not for real.
I was so confused. Can you imagine gathering up all that momentum, eh? And you were like, hey, would you be my girlfriend? Burst out laughing. And then what she did, she left. She's like, give me 1 second. She went to the washroom.
To laugh some more. I know. But I said yes. I came back and I said yes. I think the moral of the story is that I said yes. Do not take that away. Yes,
she said yes. And you know why she laughed? She just wanted to know if I'm serious. There were a number of questions, but she said yes.
And here we are.
Yeah, so I asked her out, and how many?
That was in Feb.
That was in Feb, was it?
Yeah.
And then 1 year later we were married. Yeah.
Actually
less than 1 year later we were married. Yeah. We loved traveling and hiking. We actually did a Mount Kenya hike when we were dating.
Yeah. I think all dating people should do Mount Kenya. You don't shower for 4 days.
5 days.
Yeah, 5 days. Like all manner of, petals, like everything. There's no showering, you're tired, you're exhausted. Yeah, so that was cool.
It was really memorable because that is when we got to actually know. When you're doing coffee, it's usually staged. It's managed. But now, when you're out there, like and then the body, altitude. The higher the altitude, it reacts with your body.
Yeah.
So sometimes you even get swelling.
Me, I swell.
Yeah?
I swell.
So I'm like, wow, this is the person I'm getting married to. Eh? Eh?
It was too late.
So
yeah.
it was such an experience.
Yeah. I think the other thing is because I used to live in Cambo at my mom's. So you were living in South Sea.
Yeah.
So he used to drop me like after we hung out, like every day.
Yeah.
I just remember those drives so fondly.
Yeah.
I think he used to come, we used to hang out I think every day, but he could drop me every day.
Yeah.
So sometimes I could sleep, him is still driving. But I remember those drives so fondly.
Yeah. So we did a premarital experience called Ndoa.
Yeah.
Ndoa is a 10-week marriage and marriage premarital class by Mavuno Church. So right there in between, there was we went through a mid-season activity, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was talking about when
life happens.
When life happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
So before that, I had 2 rings. I'd bought 2 rings. So like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know which one she would like. So I ended up buying 2 rings. So I was confused which ring to propose with. But God is good because one got lost.
Wow.
So I was left with one. I was like, this one will do. So I was carrying it in my pocket. And when this time when life happened, it was a talk by some married people. They're talking about when life happens, and it was intense.
It was so intense.
Yeah.
Like it was so intense, so because it was a premarital class, so we all walked in lovey-dovey. At break time, no one was with their person. We're like, am I ready for this? You know, because those couples were sharing like their life, like real life stories of, you know, marriage and what it's like. And then as we're here, we're engaged, we're thinking, you know, it's going to be a bed of roses, we're going to lie on. So it was so intense. Everyone was like, I remember telling the girls, me, I'm not engaged, me, I can bounce like right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so that busted our bubble. But one thing that whole experience did to us, or to me, is that I made up my mind. I was like, yeah, through thick and thin, this is the chick that I want to get married to. So it was very, I'd thought taking her out to Sijui where, we even went to Brackenhurst at some point. Remember?
That's
but I
where.
didn't propose. So I ended up proposing at the parking lot. Actually outside her gate.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you dropped me from that event.
I was dropping her, one of those rides, yes,
Yeah.
I was dropping her. So I just took her, I put her on top of the chair, on top of the car, and then I proposed. I asked her to be my wife.
Yeah.
And this time she said, yes!
I didn't laugh.
There was no laughing because, we knew what we were getting ourselves into.
Yeah. And I think for me it was so personal because it's the day that, you know, reality hit what this really means.
Yeah.
And then for him to make that decision
Yeah.
the same day, because I was like, I'm not engaged, me, I can bounce. The next day I was engaged, you know, it was too late. Yeah. When I woke up, it was the wedding day. I think for me, I don't know, what can we say? It was amazing. It was just, I think we were objective. We were like, the objective of the day is that we get married and that we have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Regardless.
I think I woke up, I was like, this is it today. And then my mom came in and started crying. I'm like, oh! I really cried, like a good one. Me and my mom really cried. I think there's, you know, it hits you that you can't go, like this is it, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the ceremonies in the morning, the people come for you. I remember I had this veil. It was so funny. I actually had 2 veils. Then the one I chose only had one side. So I get to the door and then they put it on this side. Then I realized, Allah, huku nyuma hakuna kitu. I was like, you know what, it's too late. I have to do this. Yeah, and then, you know, you go in the car and then we went to the church. We chose a very little cute church on Cambo Road. But it was an amazing day. I remember the dancing. I remember, everyone remembers the Nibebe. It's been so long, but everyone remembers the dancing. Because we said no matter what happens, if the tents come down, we'll still continue. As long as we've been married, and then we had purpose to have fun. So like when he unveiled me, I stuck out my tongue. That is forever immortalized in our photos. Yeah, so we had a lot of fun. It's a good feeling when I think of our wedding.
Yeah. I remember like after the whole day, now we went to the hotel and I'm like, wait a minute. What did we just do? Like, this Mamacita is never going back to her house. You know, goodbye to those long drives, you know? Like, she's here to stay. And I remember that was such a sobering moment for me, because I just, it like I woke up and I was like, yeah, we're doing this. But it was very memorable to date.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
So we had this MC, so he calls us to go cut cake, and then he's like, so Sasa, then he says, I'll play a song. And then he hadn't warned us at all. He plays the Nibebe song. Mimi, I was like, I'm going to follow with this thing.
Yeah, so he said, now we are about to cut cake, but the only way we're going to cut this cake is that, you know that song, Nibebe, Nibebe, Nibembeleze. So I was like, if you want us to cut this cake, beba your wife to the cake. And you just don't carry her, you dance. So we went dancing, chini chini. I was carrying her. So that was memorable. Baka today, when you hear that song, she wants to jump on me. Yeah. So that one took the day.
Yeah. It was amazing.
With such an intriguing love story, from friends to lovers, and now husband and wife, one would wonder what their most memorable moments are. Let's take a trip down memory lane and find out.
All right, so this box is a very special box. We got this during our honeymoon in Zanzibar. And so we saw it, we liked it, then we thought, you know what, we can be keeping our little, I don't know, what do you call them, mementos?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, things that can tell a story
Yeah.
of our relationship. And so we've had it since January 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've had it for, it's as old as the marriage.
Yeah.
It has many things.
It's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it has a lot of things, you know, things that tell a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you go somewhere, say for example, something memorable, we pick probably a receipt.
Yeah.
We just throw it in there. Yeah.
You wanna go?
I'll start.
I remember that one.
I'll start with this.
Okay.
This was before we got married. So actually, yes, I remember. So we were in one of some training, and then I just took a wire on the floor, and then I just made this cross. And I remember what I did. She had a Kindle. I just gave her, and she put it inside the Kindle, right? Like it was a book. And many months later, she was like, I saw that she has it. And I was like, gosh, you kept this. Yeah? So it has made it, it's more than 10 years old,
Yeah,
this thing right
thing.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I know, I remember that one. So this is a letter. This one is this guy here is a prayer to this letter. So when I did, there's a class I did, and one of the facilitators gave me this letter. And it's a letter where you basically are praying for a husband. And I remember I stuck this on the wall in my bedroom. And then I just used to say it. Like, you know, I wasn't even serious about saying it.
I also had one.
We made one.
Yeah, we made one for me.
Yeah. But then this was the original letter. It even has her, it has her letter to me, but this is the original prayer. So I just stuck it on my wall. I used to pray. So here is the answered prayer. So this is way older than even, because I prayed it before I met him.
Yeah.
You know, I had crammed it, but it's been 10 years. I don't think I can say it from. So let me just say, there's this part where I really like. It says, dispel my unrealistic expectations that set me up for disappointment. I place my trust in you rather than my partner. In this period of waiting, I will look to you alone to be my companion and best friend. It was so deep.
Deepness. I have a letter as well. And this is dated 7th 7th April 2013. That was before we got married. And the title is to my future husband, Mr. Matogo.
I was a prophet. Eh?
Yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah. Should I? Hey. It's deep. It's very deep.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, yeah, you are a prophet. Yeah. And I think we started dating then because you're saying, you were my answered prayer to my gift from the Lord. Yeah. To you, my. Hey, okay, sawa. Hiyo imetosha. But hey, it's just because I haven't read it in a long time. But I just feel like, hey, okay, this is quite deep, you know. Yeah.
All right. So these are our bus tickets when we went to get our rings in Coastal.
Yes.
So someone told us, go get rings in Coastal. We hear they're cheap.
Yeah.
We were like, okay. So we hopped onto Coast Bus, and they are dated 23rd December 2013. Because we got married on the 1st.
Yes.
It was like a week to our wedding.
That was a week to our wedding.
Yeah, so these are our tickets.
Yeah, so us guys were like, okay, when we get Nini, when we get cash, we do this. So these rings, we got them a week to our wedding.
Yeah, and we still have the same rings for the same for these tickets.
Yeah. This is a trip that we did in Ethiopia. You know, we started climbing mountains before we got married. So even when we got married, we went to Ethiopia and we climbed Mount Simeons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also it was a good road trip.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see some stuff from the trip. Yeah. So it's basically receipts and guides. Yeah. For the thing. Yeah.
All right. So these are notes that Joe wrote for me. Like, there are so many of them. I don't know where he got these papers, but they are so deep. Like, I'm reading them and I was like, wait, let me just read one. Yeah. This one says, please never get tired of hearing these 3 words. I love you and never take them for granted. Oh, man. Let's just move on. All right, go next before I start crying.
So this is a plane ticket, our tickets to Zanzibar. We went to Zanzibar
for
our honeymoon.
Yeah.
And this is what they gave us. So, yeah. My goodness, these things are old, eh?
Yeah.
10 years plus.
I know.
Yeah, this is on when? What's it? It's a next day.
Must have
4th January.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4th January.
Yeah.
2014.
We like to keep currency from the many countries that we go, like the lowest value.
Yeah, that was a thing that we did.
So we like to keep currency. So we have all manner of currencies here. Yeah. But then this is a city pass. This is a Boston city pass. So I think in 2014, we visited the States, and so it had like all these passes to like different things. So it has like to the museum, Natural History Museum, Boston Art Museum, just a bunch of things that you can do when you're in Boston. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And the last one here is this is a ticket. This is a ticket to a game park. I think we went for a game drive at Ruma National Park.
Yes, I remember that one.
Ruma National Park. Yeah. That is.
But it's in Kenya, just think.
Yes, Google Ruma National Park. It was amazing. So the giraffes were just here.
I know, it was so good.
And yeah, it was such a random trip.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the past. Is it Homa Bay? Somewhere those sides. Yeah. So I come from Kisii. So we're like, okay, now we're in Shags, so we do something random. So we went to that park. Yeah. Yeah. So that's us. There are so many here.
They are.
Yeah, including this is a story that is for another day. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
We have heard the genesis of the beautiful love story between Joe and Nyamo, and I can't wait to hear how their ups and downs have been and how they've been able to navigate them. In this section, we get to know about their challenges and how they've been able to overcome them. And at the end of the show, we'll get to have a beautiful game segment for them. Remember, our social media handles are KBC Channel 1 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I think we like to say that marriage is like a ship on an ocean. You know, there'll be storms, then there'll be times when it's calm and it's nice. And so we've gone through a couple of storms in our marriage, in the times we've been married. We like to say that life has been generous with us. Yeah, so I think one of our hardest seasons in marriage was 2017. Woo! 2017 was very hard. Because I think so many things happened. You know, how when it rains, it pours. It poured. You know, we were living in the States, but then we had to come back quickly. Unplanned. It was really hard. And so we had a 5-year plan. No, we were on the right trajectory, but then we had to come back quickly. And so that literally what we suffered from was shattered dreams. Because we came back with nothing, like zero. We only had clothes in a suitcase. And then he brought my sewing machine because I was like, do not leave my sewing machine. So that's all we had. You know, we had no home, we had nothing. But even before that, I think we had been in quite a funk financially. Yeah. So we were more like economic refugees when we went to the States. And so even before that, it had been really tough for us. But then 2017, so we are here, we don't know what to do. I had gotten a very good scholarship. Like, we had no work, no house, no Sufurias. For me, I like to say no Sufuria so that people get just how bad it was. And then 10 days in, Joe's dad passes away. Like, you want to talk about that?
I talk about it.
Like, we felt like the world has ended. Because here we are already, we lost quite a lot. And then that was in terms of our dreams and our, property and all those things. But then when we added onto that, we lost someone that we really, really loved. Like, his dad was amazing. He was not only a good father, but he was such a good, like, he was the best father-in-law ever. And so that just saw us just take a dip, even emotionally. We both suffered from depression, which was really, really tough. And so we say we used to take turns being depressed. So when this one was rock bottom, this one was surviving, but it was really, really tough. And yeah, what do you want to add, babe?
Yeah, I think, this memories just come back. But I remember, even before we got married, then Nyamu's mom, my mom-in-law, she was attacked. As we were actually planning the wedding, she was attacked and she was in hospital. She was in the ICU. We almost lost her. And it was such a tough time because, when people are dating, you're out there having fun in many. But for us, I remember it was rounds in the hospital. Yeah, but we thank God that she made it out. Yeah. Another tough time was when we got our son, Mali, our firstborn. It was like a really, really tough 2 years because he had, he had to overcome complication after complication. And I remember those sleepless nights, just like yesterday. Yeah, so the one thing that kept us together is like us being friends. Like, we used to lean on each other through the depressive state, through the loss of dreams, through the homelessness. She hasn't mentioned.
We were
we were homeless.
We were so broke, we were homeless.
Really, really broke. Do you remember Rongai?
Yeah.
We've
seen it all.
We have seen it all. Like, we really have seen some really, really down times. Yeah, but we thank God, like, we bounced back. Yeah, just fine.
Yeah, 100% Jesus.
100% Jesus.
Yeah.
From those days, we used to go for Pima, like, Githeri Pima. Like, we used to just have money for Pimaing that, Yeah. So, yeah, those are days that you look back and you're like, but God.
Yeah.
Who is like God?
That's true. Yeah.
Our kids are pride and joy. Like, those guys, just seeing them grow, and like, we really enjoy a very happy marriage. And it's not just to say because of the camera.
It's true, yeah.
But us guys, we really enjoy our lives together. Yeah. We enjoy the traveling,
The
just
parenting.
the carrying our kids.
The
We don't have a
ministry.
nanny. We only have a day nanny. Yeah, so we spend a lot of time as a family because we work together most of the time. Yeah,
That's
so
true.
what else? What are the highlights?
I think one of our greatest achievements is our marriage ministry.
Yeah.
Because we felt the calling very early, but we were like, we are too young, we have nothing to offer, let's just move on. But when God calls you, just keeps bugging you, like you need to do this. But now when we look back, we're like, we've been able to actually achieve quite a bit. We have 2 programs. We run one for married couples to enrich their marriages, but also one to help people who are planning to get married, called Not Ready. And then and what else? Oh, and we have connection cards. We actually have a product that is birthed from the ministry. So these are tangible things that we can look and say. Yeah, and books as well. Yeah. And this year we planted a church. Planting a church is an achievement. Yeah, church planting is not a joke. Like it's not a joke. And so that's one of the things we can say, you know what?
Yeah.
We will always be the founding pastors of Mavuno Rwaka,
Yeah.
and we are happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we are, to begin with, we're just friends.
Yeah.
Like we are fast friends, and then
Genuinely.
lovers, then parents, and all those things. And so I think it's easy to just rock up to your friend and be like, tunafaa kufanya hiki tu. Like the resistance will be, way limited than if I was trying to compel him to help me, manipulate him as a wife,
Dominate as a husband.
Yes, so it's just easier when we're trying, because that's what we say, we are ally. I'm his ally number 1 and he's my ally number 1.
That's right.
And let me tell you, because like at Mavuno Rwaka, I am the campus pastor, so I'm the lead pastor. He has been so supportive through it all. He'll take care of the kids. Like when I need, like when I'm preaching, he'll be like, what do you need? He's been really, really supportive. I support, because he's you can say how I support you for a couple on a journey.
Yeah, now coming over and above now the marriage ministry, I take the lead on the marriage ministry. So I do the programs and all that, and she does the strategy. Yeah. So it's such a beautiful balance on how we do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we complement each other.
Yeah.
So
Actually, let me add something. I think what we've learned to do, how to support one another, is to leverage on our strengths and weaknesses. And God pairs people in the funniest way. All my strengths are his weaknesses, and then all his strengths are my weaknesses. And so there are just times when I'm like, let me just take a back seat, you just come with your, and we, how we like to say it is that we are on one team. And so whoever will get us, like, because let me give a good example. He loves people. He is our, foreign minister. Because he's bubbly, he's a sanguine, he loves people. Me, I can be a bit bossy, so there are times where I just have to take a back seat so that, he can come and, help us win in that, like if that's the strength that is required, he plays it. Then if it's a place for, they need a bossy human being, then I show up and we win, So I think that having the attitude for I win, like we both win has really helped us. Yeah.
And then the final one is how we've managed to do this is also having the right foundations in marriage. Because remember how we started, like we went through the premarital program for us, really opened up our eyes on what we're getting ourselves into. So we usually like to say that, if you want a rock solid house, build your house on the right foundations. So we did a lot of work. We covered a lot of groundwork when it comes to our foundations. So now that's how we were able to actually overcome, tides in our marriage. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Special traditions.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how do you say it? And I like how you say it. Date night after every 2.
Oh yeah, it's date night after every 2 weeks, 2 nights away after every 2 months, and a week away after every 2 years. So we just follow the 2-2-2 rule, and we realized it's much easier Yeah, but I think
For date nights, we do it on a regular,
Yeah.
like on a weekly basis. Yeah.
when we can. Yeah.
When we can. On Mondays, that's our breakfast. Monday breakfast is for a date.
Standard. Yeah.
And then,
What else? I'm trying to think. Traditions.
traditions. I guess it's that.
What else? So another thing, you guys noticed is we don't have a TV. Yeah, it's very intentional because screen time can be an eater of time. Like you just get home, you switch on. That proverbial, the man gets home, switch on the TV, puts his legs up. It can't happen in this house because there's no TV.
Yeah.
So we realized that has created a lot of time for us to be together. So in this house, there's always music.
Yeah.
And we're always like in each other's space. Like when I'm cooking, is in the kitchen with me. And that's true. And we love dancing. Yeah. So I think that it's a value more than a tradition, but it's helped us to really be close. Yeah, because even when we say we want to watch a movie, you have to watch it on the laptop. Na sasa laptop lazima mkaribiane. You have to be in close proximity. So that's another thing I think that has helped our marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, the cooking thing is very real. Like we are always in the kitchen. Like you've seen even the counters. Like there's a cassette over there where we're always interacting. Yeah. We also take walks together. Yeah. It's been a while, but we're gonna come back to it.
Yeah.
Running together.
Yeah.
In the morning.
Yes. Yeah.
We used to run like for the better part of our marriage. We've been running in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but we're taking a break. We're gonna go back there. Yeah.
Life in marriage is not always a bed of roses. The Matogos have shared with us some of the trials they faced and managed to navigate through them successfully. For this next segment, we'll play a game titled Who is Most Likely To? I'll simply ask a set of questions and they'll answer by pointing out to the person who is most likely to do the mentioned activity. Let's find out who is the most romantic between them, among many others. So who's most likely to sing in the shower? Who's most likely to get lost in a new city?
We've done this together. We've been in a new city together. We've figured it out together. Like together.
Okay. Yeah. Who's most likely to start a dance party? Who's most likely to stay up all night talking? Who's most likely to sleep through their alarm? Who's most likely to break something accidentally? Who's most likely to make a scene in public? Okay, who's most likely to be more romantic? Who's most likely to be more cuddly? Who's most likely to forget an anniversary? Who's most likely to forget to pay a bill? Who's most likely to get lost while driving? Who's most likely to spend the most? Who's most likely to procrastinate on doing chores or tasks? Who's most likely to be the first one to say I love you? Who's most likely to be the first to say I'm sorry?
Me. Anyway.
Who's most likely to forget to put the toilet seat down?
Don't care.
Who's most likely to try a new extreme sport? Who's most likely to make a playlist for every occasion? Who's most likely to initiate a kiss? Who's the most likely to be the neat freak of the relationship?
Do it with conviction.
Who's most likely to leave the house without their phone? Who's most likely to try to cook a new recipe that's complicated? Who's most likely to send a sweet text message during the day?
Both of us, I guess.
Who's most likely to make the bed in the morning? Wow, such a beautiful story between Joe and Nyamu. I mean, in 10 years, they've been able to achieve so much. Join me next time as I get to feature another beautiful couple with an amazing love story. Do not forget to follow and like our social media pages. That is KBC Channel 1 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I was your host, Karen Dumia. Until next time, bye-bye.